This news update is brought to you by
I'm happy. Now I'm gonna take my time. I'm happy. Enjoying myself with lime. I'm happy. Escape from reality. Yay! And let lime take care of me. We're just happy and smiling. Doing almost anything. Having fun and just living. Shopping, chilling, everything.
Get happy with Barbados' largest and fastest 4G network. Activate any Lime prepaid or postpaid mobile plan today.
This is the Barbados Today evening update for Friday, November the 14th, 2014. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. A warm welcome to you. Finance Minister Chris Sinckler says he will be asking the relevant financial authorities under his watch, including the Central Bank of Barbados, to investigate proposed radical changes by CIBC First Caribbean International Bank to the terms and conditions of its customer service agreement. The changes, which are due to take effect by January, will give the bank unilateral control over all future interest rates, fees, charges, and overdraft limits. The bank is also warning customers that as a result of a decision to outsource some of its operations, it will no longer be accepting liability for any claims arising out of the handling of its accounts and information by contracted third parties. Sinckler, who is a customer of the bank, says he was personally taken aback by the directness of the letter he received from the bank this week, outlining the changes. However, as Minister of Finance, he says his first priority is to ensure that ordinary Barbadians are not being ill-treated. In this regard, he suggests there may also be issues for the local Fair Trading Commission to look into.
It is a fairly serious issue, I must say, in the context of what we know now to be the issue of cyber crimes and electronic crimes and all of those things is going on. I can see why people, and I certainly as a customer of First Caribbean Bank, I could see why people would be a little uncomfortable, let's put it that way, with third parties handling their accounts and the institution with which you have the primary relationship saying that they don't have, that they would not take responsibility for anything that happened after that. That is something that I think needs to be seriously assessed and investigated as to its appropriateness. So, that's my take on it. But you will hear more from the ministry and its offices that have responsibility for this, I'm sure, in the coming days.
Meanwhile, Sinckler has been seeking to clarify the government's position on the payment of income tax returns. He says for the moment, the government is still focused on paying out the $80 million that is due in cash, bearing in mind that interest has been accumulating on that figure since November the 1st. The minister also clarified his comments about the payment of returns in the form of an interest-bearing instrument.
This whole hysteria that we created in society that, I'm up here designing some tax certificate and people are not going to get their money, they're going to have to take a tax certificate, is not true.
So we haven't reached the stage of tax certificates yet?
No, we're looking at all of the options and we are monitoring the situation and seeing how it is developing and, of course, preparing ourselves so that if and when we have to respond, that we can respond appropriately.
But when would be that cutoff point? Is it 3 months? Is it 2 months? Is it?
Well, the cutoff point depends on, and that's difficult to say, but the cutoff point depends on how quickly the current state of payments are going.
Finance Minister Chris Sinckler speaking to our Editor-in-Chief, Kmar Jordan. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Freundel Stuart makes it clear that his government will not allow the sugar industry to collapse. The assurance follows calls from sector officials for the Prime Minister to intervene and save the industry from disaster. Last week, Agriculture Minister Dr. David Eswick told Barbados Today the government has secured a new financier for its proposed US $250 million sugar industry restructuring program after all its major financial backers, including the World Bank, pulled out. Stuart says he is aware of the challenges facing the industry as it was a major talking point at yesterday's cabinet sitting.
We are aware that large numbers of people still are employed in the sugar industry. We are also aware that we still get some foreign exchange from the sugar industry, and therefore the government is committed to ensuring that wherever harm can be avoided, it will be avoided. So to the extent that we spent so much time yesterday, last evening discussing it, I have already intervened because we intend to ensure that no irreparable harm is done to the industry.
The Prime Minister was speaking to reporters following a blessing of the nation's service at the St. Philip Primary School this morning. The Chief Executive Officer of the Caves of Barbados Limited, Joanne Grant, is taking legal action against the Freundel Stuart administration after being fired from her post with immediate effect. Well-placed sources tell Barbados Today that Grant, who has been on suspension since July, was terminated last Wednesday for the manner in which she ran the affairs of the St. Thomas tourism attraction. Barbados Today understands that the former CEO is suing the government for wrongful dismissal as well as for defamation over information made public about her tenure at the state-owned agency. Operations Manager Schofield Clark is acting as CEO. Sources also say that Rovell Morris, the son of Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM Bobby Morris, is tipped to take over the CEO job. In sports now, the first ever Expo and All-Stars basketball encounter will come in another 2 weeks at the gymnasium. Chief Executive Officer of Gymnasium Limited and the National Sports Council, Jerry Blenman, says the event was designed to showcase sports and sports development in Barbados. He says 50 different sporting activities will be on show on November the 29th.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
The Barbados Food and Wine and Rum Festival, November 20th to 23rd. Taste the culinary delights of top local and international chefs like Marcus Samuelson, Anne Burrell, Tyler Florence, Roger Mooking, Michael Hines, Dane Sadler, Daphne's Restaurant, and more. The Barbados Food and Wine and Rum Festival, 5th edition, November 20th to 23rd. Visit foodwinerum.com or contact Premier Event Services Inc. at 435-0670. Get your tickets now at Wine World or Ticketpal.com.
To news from the Caribbean now, the Bermuda government walked out of Parliament today as the opposition leader delivered his response to the throne speech. The ruling One Bermuda Alliance says the decision was taken to express its disgust and outrage over what it describes as vile comments allegedly made by the opposition leader Mark Bean. OBA Senator Lynn Woolridge alleges that Bean verbally accosted 2 of the party's female members. She makes it clear that the ruling party will not stand for such behavior. To India now, where a top executive of a drug company and his son has been arrested for allegedly tampering with evidence following the deaths of a dozen women. The women died after undergoing sterilization surgeries at government-run mobile units. 60 others were hospitalized. The 2 are accused of forgery and destroying evidence following a raid on their pharmaceutical company. Sales of the company's products have also been banned until further notice. And that's where we end our Barbados Today evening update. We'll be back again on Monday morning. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Lime TV to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a wonderful weekend.
This news update is brought to you by
I'm happy. Now I'm gonna take my time. I'm happy. Enjoying myself with lime. I'm happy. Escape from reality. Yay! And let lime take care of me. Whoa, whoa, we're just happy and smiling, doing almost anything, having fun and just living. Whoa, whoa, shopping, chilling, everything.
Get happy with Barbados' largest and fastest 4G network. Activate any Lime prepaid or postpaid mobile plan today.